we are then. So I'm on a road. I'm heading down to Lincolnshire Police, and I've got a head full of that kid who I just spoke to 20 minutes ago, who asked us what I was doing. I told him that I do work with a naloxone peers. Showed him a kit, and he said, I've used one of them this morning. He said the lad's lips were blue. He was in my house. He wasn't breathing, and I just stuck him with a kit. It's unbelievable, isn't it? That drug users are saving the lives of drug users every single day. The peers from Foundations Teas, the peers from An Action Red Car, anybody who's making supplies of naloxone, yous are saving lives. It's mad that it's come to this though. We have an unregulated drug market that's not getting any better. It's definitely getting worse. We know all of the figures, the stats. I get fed up with talking about them, to be fair, because behind every one of them stats is somebody's son, somebody's daughter, somebody's husband, somebody's wife, somebody's loved one, somebody's somebody, and we treat them like shit, like the underclass. Like, when are we going to be bold enough to make some changes here? It seems to me that we've given our power away. The way that the system's set up now is not grounded in evidence. We criminalise people for taking drugs which are less harmful than alcohol. We criminalise people under the Misuse of Drugs Act, which hasn't been reviewed since 1971. It's not fit for purpose, and it stigmatises and it demonises people. When I was 15, I got caught with a joint's worth of hash, and the police took us out of my home and took us to the police station and interviewed us for a joint's worth of hash. And it affected me, you know. It affected us so much so that I knew when I scored drugs, you got them in you quickly. You made sure that the police weren't going to capture you. That happened years ago to me, and then I had 15 years after that. Some recreational drug use, which was great, and drugs aren't just linear for me. That's the wrong word, isn't it? That's the wrong word. It's not it's not across the board, is it? So lots of people take drugs and have no problems with the drugs that they take personally. That was true for me for a little while, until such time as it did become a problem. But that was just for me. But I felt the brunt of the system, which in many ways still exists now. I was criminalised. I was sent to jail. I was labelled a popo, a prolific and persistent offender. I was labelled a PDU, problematic drug user, an OCU, an opiate and crack user, an offender, a junkie, a drain on society, dual diagnosis. But underneath all of that, there's a person. And that kid the day who used that naloxone kit saved a person. And we need to do something about it, right? Because the evidence is clear. Drug consumption rooms Safe injecting facilities work. I've just left Foundations in Teesside, speaking to lads and lasses today on the heroin assisted treatment programme. They tell me they've got their lives back. Heroin assisted treatment works. I've spent time working with We Are the Loop in Durham, seeing the innovation and the simplicity of bringing health professionals, pharmacologists and scientists together who test drugs, who then sit down for a consultation for 15 minutes with somebody, tell them about the drugs that were tested, tell them about any dangers and harms, find out about other areas in their lives where people might have concerns, about different kinds of drugs that they might be taking, giving people a chance to make informed choices based on concrete information about what's in the drugs that they're taking. That's a no-brainer. Why aren't we doing more of that? Support for parents, carers and family members. Like, family members often get the label of being problematic, troublesome, ask too many difficult questions. Well, nice shit. Because the people they love the most are suffering and dying. Family members need access to support from organisations like Scottish Families, from organisations like DrugFam. They need access to evidence-based interventions like community reinforcement and family training. An awesome event. We need to stop telling families that they're powerless over their loved one's addiction. They're not. They're powerful. But we also need to stop going down this route that abstinence is what the solution is. Yes, for some, I am not anti-abstinence. But taking drugs can be okay. Moderation management can be okay if that's what a person chooses. But we need to be thankful for family members. Because I'll tell you what, after the 20-minute appointments that they have in our drug treatment services, a lot of these people go back home and spend hours with their mums and dads and husbands and wives who love them and care for them, hours every day. It's a thankless task. They get no recognition for it. So we need to engage and work with family members more. Drug consumption rooms have done that. Regulated drug markets. No brainer. Why aren't we getting access to safe drugs made in a controlled environment, supplied via controlled environments which are fit for purpose for the drugs which are being supplied? Why aren't we doing that? Like, we are going to do it, but it may be in 20 years' time and we'll think, shit man, how many lives could have been saved if we'd done this years ago? Like, medical cannabis. I don't understand the difference between medical cannabis and ordinary cannabis. Surely a carrot's a carrot, isn't it? You don't have medical carrots and non-medical carrots. That's a shit analogy, but you know where I'm going. You know, like Alfie Dingley, Billy Caldwell, they made like these poor children having so many like fits, and that families having to say that, and they're having to pay thousands of pounds for private prescriptions. I believe that that's sorted now, but Jesus, how man? Like, what's going on? The stigma which is attached to substances is unbelievable. It's killing people every day. 12 people every day, isn't it? Or is it more now? Probably more. Every day. Because people are too frightened that they're going to be judged by everyone for being a drug user, for taking something which is nice. MDMA is nice. All of these drugs are nice in the right way, with the right guidance, without the adulterants, without the organised crime gangs in control. This stuff can be okay. But we judge people, don't we? The biggest problem we face today isn't illegal drugs, it's alcohol. That kills far more many people, does far much more harm. I've got a mate who's a cop in Durham who posts every week about like 121 arrests this week for alcohol related issues. Nowhere near that for drugs. But still what we do is we persecute, stigmatise, demonise, shame, hate a drug user. Unless you're Ant McParland, then we all tune in on a Saturday at 88.7 million people. Come on, Andrew, he's great. He is great. And I like Ant McParland. But why just celebrity drug users? I stopped this morning outside a little, got 10 minutes to talk to a couple of lads living on the streets. My people, your people. What's happened to us as a society, man? It's mental. It's absolutely mental. Like, I'm having a bit of a rant. Do you know what I mean? But that's what it is, isn't it? It's a rant. Like, me ranting changes nothing. Seems to me we've given our power away. The Home Office say, no you can't, no you can't, no you can't, no you can't. But at some point the Home Office will say, oh, you can. Like, how man? Bollocks. Why are we giving our power away? Why are we not taking direct action to go, you know what? Enough's enough. Like, I do what I can, right? I do what I can in the job that I do, but I'm pissed off. Like, I'm pissed off with seeing the pictures on the walls at Susan's homeless cafe in Middlesbrough. Picked 12 pictures of kids that have died this year on there needlessly, alone, isolated, with nothing. These aren't the guys taking a bit MDMA and a bit cocaine and dancing at the festivals, although there's deaths there as well, which is tragic. These guys who are dying, who I know, who I see, are broken people. And society does nothing to support them. And for those who watch think, oh, well, they don't do anything to support themselves, well, you've never walked a mile in their shoes. And until you've walked a mile in their shoes and understood the trauma which exists for those people who are problem drug users, then you've got no ground to talk. If you have no compassion, don't say anything at all. It's not worth it, because your comments solve nothing. They just add to the torrent of bullshit that we keep hearing about peers, about people who use drugs. And it's a disgrace. And it's sad. And I think we should do more. I know I'm going to do more. So, I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it there. Behind every person who uses drugs is somebody deserving of love, compassion and warmth. Cheers, guys. Take it easy.